Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference is just around the corner, and based on the rumors, we're expecting some big news. From the usual iOS and iPadOS updates to the less likely but still exciting possibility of an AR or VR headset, Monday's event looks set to be a noteworthy one. Here's what we expect to see at WWDC 2022. Let's start with the most anticipated potential announcement, that AR or VR headset that Apple's reportedly been working on for years. Thanks to the company recently trademarking the name RealityOS, the hype is hotter than ever. The pair of filings mention wearable computer hardware, lending more credence to the possibility of an actual headset and not just software. To be clear, that name wasn't exactly trademarked by Apple, but by a company named Realio Systems LLC. However, that entity shares an address with Yosemite Research LLC, a shell company that Apple has used in the past to trademark macOS-related products. So it is quite likely a tactic to keep an upcoming Apple announcement undercover. Another point of interest around these trademark submissions is the foreign filing deadline of June 8th, which is 2 days after WWDC. It's highly unlikely then that a full-blown launch is going to happen next week. Instead, it's more probable that Apple teases RealityOS and the related product in its typical style of saving one more thing.
Now there's one more thing
till the end of its keynote. That's similar to what Google did at I/O last month when it teased a pair of AR glasses that would transcribe and translate what people in the real world are saying. We're more likely to learn a lot more details about iOS 16. According to a Bloomberg report, iOS and iPadOS 16 will be fairly significant upgrades, with changes coming to the Health and Messages apps as well as notifications. The lock screen is rumored to look very different, with wallpapers that could include widget functionality. It could also integrate an always-on display for future iPhones. For iPads, the word is that fully resizable windows might be available in a so-called multitasking mode that was discovered in WebKit code. Fans of Apple's M1 Silicon are probably anxious to see the next-gen version of its chips. According to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, at least 9 Mac models with 4 different M2 chips are in testing using third-party apps from the App Store. The developer logs from those apps suggest a MacBook Air with an M2 chip that has 8 CPU cores and 10 graphics cores. That would be a small bump from the 7 or 8 GPU cores in current models. The company is also reportedly testing a pair of Mac Minis with M2 and M2 Pro chips, as well as an entry-level MacBook Pro with the same specs as that rumored Air. The next MacBook Air might be slimming down while gaining more ports and MagSafe charging. It's also supposedly getting a major redesign, featuring a more square look similar to last year's 24-inch iMac, and it could come in several bright colors with a white keyboard. WWDC tends to be a software-heavy show, and so as usual, we expect to hear about updates coming to other products like macOS, tvOS, and watchOS. The company's wearable platform may be getting the biggest changes, including a more capable low-power mode, navigation improvements, better sleep tracking, and more robust health tracking with additional running stats. A potential burden feature could tell you how long you're in a state of atrial fibrillation, too. The rest of the updates coming to macOS and tvOS are likely to be less dramatic. Macs may get a revamped system preferences panel that's more in sync with iOS's settings, as well as some redesigned native apps. Apple TVs might gain some smart home features. That is by no means a complete list of everything we expect to see at WWDC, and is, as I must remind you, just an educated guess based on the most credible reports we've seen. There's still services like Apple Music, TV Plus, Fitness Plus, Arcade, and more that we haven't heard much about. It's also possible that the company addresses some privacy-related issues surrounding its products like AirTags and iOS features related to CSAM or child sexual abuse material. With the show slated to kick off on June 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern, there isn't much longer to wait to find out. We'll be hosting a live Q&A after Apple's keynote to answer your questions and break down the news here on the Engadget YouTube channel, so make sure to come back for that. And for more coverage on the world of consumer technology, make sure you subscribe to Engadget. And as always, thank you for watching.